Hello, data folks. Thanks for joining me again on this channel for data and IT professionals. We've been exploring many advanced DBT topics that are widely used by companies around the world. Along those lines, today we'll dive into hooks in DBT, specifically prehooks and posthooks. So what are hooks exactly? Hooks are SQL statements or commands that DBT can automatically run either before or after a model executes. Prehooks run before a model, and posthooks run after. They're super handy because they let you automate tasks that you would otherwise have to do manually every time. We'll jump into the different way to implement hooks shortly, but first, let's take a moment to understand why we even need hooks and what kinds of problems they help us solve. For example, before running a particular model, you might want to perform certain actions automatically. Maybe you want to bring data from cloud storage into your database before your transformations begin. You might also want to back up some critical tables, ensuring you have a safe copy before making any changes. This ensures that if anything goes wrong during your transformations or model run, you still have the previous version available for reference or restoration. Or you might need to set session-level parameters, such as the time zone or query tags. Or perhaps you may want to record the model's start time in an audit table so you can track when each execution begins. All of these actions, which need to happen before the model runs, can be automated using prehooks. On the other hand, after a model has finished running or a table has been created, you might want to carry out a few follow-up tasks. For instance, you might need to log the model's end time in an audit table. Here's another common use of hooks. After a model finishes running, you can use a posthook to grant the required permissions on the newly created objects. You could even set column or row-level security. This ensures that the right users and teams have access immediately without needing to run separate SQL commands manually. Furthermore, you might want to export the newly created table data to cloud storage so external parties can consume it from there. Perhaps you could refresh your development and test environments with the latest data using a zero-copy clone. Or maybe send a quick email notification or even trigger a stored procedure to perform additional downstream updates. Without hooks, you would have to rely on another tool or perform these tasks manually, which can be prone to being missed or executed incorrectly. Another point to note, since hooks are part of DBT, they inherit all the benefits of DBT, including modularity and reusability. Moreover, hooks make your DBT workflows more powerful and can handle a diverse range of tasks that cannot be performed using regular models. Now that we've covered the purpose of hooks, let's move on and explore different ways to implement them within DBT. Let's take a deeper look at this simple example. Assume that the project team has an audit requirement and wants to track when each model starts and finishes execution. This is one of the ways to implement prehooks and posthooks directly inside the config block of the model itself. In this example, the prehook inserts a record into the audit table before the model runs, capturing the start timestamp. The posthook inserts a record after the model finishes, capturing the end timestamp. With this setup, every time the model runs, the audit table is updated automatically, ensuring consistent tracking without any manual effort. Notice the use of this, which automatically references the current model's fully qualified name. This way, there's no need to hardcode the model name. It's the perfect time to look at the actual DBT log to reinforce your understanding. This is the part of the log where the main model has run, and you can see the complete model SQL executed in your warehouse. Just above that, I can see the SQL for the prehook has run successfully. Down below, the posthook SQL has also completed successfully. Let's take a look at another way to implement hooks with the help of macros. You can also create macros for these two hooks and call them as needed in your models. This makes the code reusable across multiple models and reduces code duplication, especially for hooks with multiple lines of code. Finally, hooks can be configured using your YAML file. This approach gives you more flexibility because you can apply hooks at the folder level, affecting all models in that folder, or at the individual model level. Hooks can be defined as inline SQL or as macros. This is especially useful when you want consistent behavior across multiple models without having to configure each one individually. Using this method makes your project easier to maintain and ensures that standard processes are applied consistently across all your models. In conclusion, hooks empower your DBT workflows by automating repetitive tasks, minimizing human error, and allowing you to focus on building insights rather than managing operations. As always, I've added the Git repository link with all these codes so you can practice and explore more. That's all for today. Please stay tuned for our next video, where we'll explore more data technologies. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with our latest content. Thanks for watching.